Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Tana Tarot, and today we're going to do a all about your next glow up reading. Wanted you to know that I am having a free reading giveaway, if you will, and the instructions are in the description box, but basically you need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then send me an email to the email address in the description box, and I will choose one winner a week for a free reading. And I'm doing this to grow the channel, but to also show appreciation for those who have subscribed to my channel. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you there, and I'd love to give you a free reading. So today for your next glow up, we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. So please do take a couple of moments to choose whichever group it is that you're interested in, and then the timestamps will be in the description box below. See you there. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to Tana Tarot, and this is group number 1 for all about your next glow up, or what others admire most about you. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, real quick, in case you didn't listen to the intro, I am offering a free giveaway for a reading. So if you are interested, please do like the video, subscribe to my channel, and then send me an email, and all of the instructions are in the description box. I would love to give you a free reading. I am doing it to grow the channel and then to also thank my subscribers. So this can be for existing or new subscribers. So please do look in the description box for the information. And that's what I was thinking of. I am going to be choosing one person a week, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's you, and I'd love to do a reading for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Group number 1. So glow up. What others admire most about you? These are attributes or personality traits that you have, or that you're working on, things that you're changing that are helping you to glow up, and the things that people are noticing and admiring about you. So one thing that people are noticing is that you're getting more in touch with your divine masculine side. And what I mean by that is you can be either a male or a female and have this happening. But getting more in touch with your divine masculine side is getting more in touch with that side that takes action. Now, there are different times. There are times to sit back and let things happen. There are times when that is definitely the best course of action. But then there are also times where it is totally necessary to make some type of a decision, take some type of action. And some of us have, a hard time with that due to indecision or confusedness, or maybe low self-esteem. And one thing that is really changing about you and that people are noticing is seem to be like gaining strength, in as much as you don't feel so much a victim, of the world, but you're more kind of a master of your own life. And you are getting way more comfortable in not only dealing with any types of negativity or stressors in your life, but also just in overall making decisions, positive decisions, and effecting that change that needs to happen in your life. And that's kind of the basis of this whole thing, is you have seen the need for some change, as we all do, and growth, and you have been making those changes. And that is what this reading is about. The changes that you've made, the proactive changes that you've made, that have grown you up, and that people are noticing and admiring about you. One thing that people really do admire about you is not only your ability, like your vision, and so not only your ability to see things that other people can't see, or to have a vision of something where nothing is right now, and your ability to share that information with others, to help others to see your vision. You could be a designer, you could be an architect, you could be anything. You can even help people see your vision in writing or, art. But one thing that people really admire about you is your vision, and how you just come up with these crazy, awesome, wonderful ideas or concepts or things, whether they're, ideas or tangible things like, art projects or even, business ideas. And then your ability to collaborate and work with others to share the vision and to get others to buy into it and to help you to build and cause this dream and this vision to come to life. You are a real, there's all different types of leaders. There's, there's kings, and there's, army, leaders. There's all these people that lead through, being the boss and that type of thing. And then there's those leaders that are, team leaders that are part of the team, and they realize the importance of every team member in the visioning and the creation and the execution of the idea. And you are one of those people where nobody feels like you are above them, but they do look up to you. But you are just the driving force and the glue that holds the team together, yet you're able to make each team member feel just as important as the other. And you appreciate their contributions, and you recognize it, and you let everyone know, and everyone just feels like such a part of that. And that's one of the major things that people appreciate about you and admire about you. Another thing is that one thing that you have really changed is that you have stopped negative cycles in your life where people were using you and things were not balanced. You have had a major epiphany. You were a giver. And while you still love to give and see the importance of it, there's just nothing you can do. You just are a giver. Yet, you've had this epiphany of there is an appropriate time to give, and there's an appropriate time to let people handle things on their own. And sometimes by overgiving, you can not only be taken advantage of, but you can almost, arrest people's development or thwart their growth. I'm not sure if I'm using the right words there. And you've realized that. You can be real angry when people take, but you have to see your part in it, and you have. And so you've had this epiphany where you're like, okay, and it was hard. Because when you're a giver, but you've had this epiphany and you're becoming more and more strong in your ability to realize when it is a right and a good time to give and when it is a better time to not give. And so there were quite a few vampires in your life that you had created cycles with. And they're emotional vampires, financial vampires, just because it's not just money. It can be money, it can be energy, it can be love. And so you had quite a few people around you, since you were such a giver, that were taking advantage of that. But again, it was a codependent thing. It takes two. And so you've seen your part and you've changed your MO. Did you lose some of the people? Perhaps. But you can change the MO and not lose people. You can change the way that you look at things and the way that you deal with people. And you've been able to do that and stop those cycles. And the people that love you and your spirit guides are just thrilled. They admire this so much about you, that you have had this insight and this wherewithal and this, you have changed the basic, almost DNA of your being. Well, you haven't, because you're still a giver and you always will be, but you've definitely changed like one of the major facets of your life to be more positive. And so people are seeing, the friends who are close to you and your family who are close to you, some of them who were also the vampires, emotional, financial, whatever. But the people that care the most about you and your spirit guides are seeing that you've made this change and you've affected this change, and that you are much stronger and more balanced for that. And that is awesome. And that is, I kudos, hats off to you. That is a hard thing to do. One thing that you've also become way better at is not only with that balance, but you've become better at finding balance in your life. On one hand, you've become more strong and more action oriented, and not just kind of sitting back, maybe being, like a victim to life, or at other people's beck and call, or under their control or power. And so you've become more strong, more forceful, more decision making. But the cool part about that is sometimes when people really change something, they have a tendency to go from one end all the way to the other end and become really, everything is like super black and white, and they, were super like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not recessive, super passive, I guess, and then go to super strong and almost belligerent. But you have been able to find that middle road in your, taking the bull by the horns in your life, and by making the changes and not being so giving in a excessive, way. And you've been able to find this nice middle road. Like I said, you may have lost a person or two when you went through this, sending the vampires off, putting garlic around your neck. But you didn't lose everybody. A lot of people understood, the dynamics of what was going on and why you had to make the change and why you made the change. And, and that's really powerful, because that shows that you have some enlightened friends, or that you were able to express yourself in such a way that they got it. Because, if someone comes up to me and they just start giving me stuff, and I need it, it's going to be very hard for me to say no. And I might find myself in this dynamic that, I look back and I'm like, how the hell did I end up here counting on this person like this? And wow, did he or she really give me money and then have trouble paying their rent? Oh, I don't want that. I didn't know it was like that. So, it's not just when I say vampires, it's like, sure, you may have, met some vampires along the way, but you may have also created a few vampires. And so you were able to, with those people, you were able to explain your situation, or just kind of maybe even slowly change your tactics and just not been there so much and not offered so much, to where they were slowly able to kind of wean their way off. And you were able to change that. And you're able to have that insight and not be angry at the people, but more angry at yourself for your part in it. But then you were also able to be gentle on yourself. Okay? You were able to see, yeah, I created a lot of this. Or if I didn't create it, I at least definitely had my part in it and my responsibility for, at least 50% of it. And so you took responsibility for it. You let go of the anger, whether towards the other person or towards yourself for doing this. And you just said, well, you know what? I'm human. I, make mistakes. You look back, maybe you've seen your childhood, why you became such a giver, and you're like, oh, and you talk to that inner child, and you restore the balance, and you hug that inner child, and you say, oh, I understand now. I'm such a giver because I felt like I had to, almost to buy people's love, or to make things okay so that, people would like me, or like I had to fix things. So you find out your reasoning, and you find out your MO, why you did it. And you go through it, you deal with it, you restore the balance, and you heal, and you replenish yourself and your soul and your mind and your spirit. And that is awesome. And spirit is loving. Your angels and your guides and your past family members are looking at what you're going through. They're watching over you, and they are so proud of you, and they admire you so much for doing that and being able to see that and go through it and take care of yourself and come out a better, stronger, more balanced person. Okay. Whew. And, part of that is understanding how to, with your environment and your habits, you have learned how to keep things simple. So in your quest to restore and replenish and to heal, you have learned that simplicity is the best path for you. So you have been doing some purging, and this has really helped you in your glow up as far as your physical surroundings and the people that you have around you. You've realized that you'd rather have 3 really great friends than 10 or more acquaintances. And so in the changes that you've been doing, some people have fallen off to the wayside. And you know what? It's okay. There's a season to everything. You haven't gone to these people and said, do you know what? You're a piece of shit, and you always used, and I don't even want to be around you. No, you were so far above that. But you realized that there were some people that just did not have your best interests at heart. You weren't serving them any good purpose. They certainly weren't serving you any good purpose. And there was just kind of a natural sloughing off of those relationships that did not serve you. Okay? You didn't feel better than anyone. You just saw that it was time, and you were able to do that. And it happened, and it's still happening. But now you have the discernment. You have gained the discernment to be able to tell what is best for you and what is best for, your energy and your life. And not only that, but you have also been lightening up a load in by purging your personal belongings. And people are noticing like a glow on your face and a twinkle in your eye and a lightness in your step, because you're realizing that, you know, while you like nice things and you like to be comfortable, some of the possessions that you have, let me use clothes as an example. You see that you may have been doing like retail therapy and shopping for things that you really didn't need in order to get a temporary fix or a good feeling. But in going through your home, you see that you have a lot of impulse buys. You look in your kitchen, you look in your garage, you know, you just look and you're like, you know, I really thought I would use that, but I'm not using that and I don't need it. And looking at it makes me feel bad because I haven't used it and I feel like I should use it, but I don't want to use it. Kind of this cycle, right? This back and forth cycle. So when you see those things, you're realizing, you know what, I didn't want to give it away because I spent $200 on it and I feel like I should use it, but I'm realizing that I'm not going to use it. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to try and find a family member or a close friend who might be interested in it. And if so, what a good feeling to give something to someone who will really appreciate it and really use it. And if not, then I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to give it to, you know, a thrift store or, you know, a charity, maybe for, you know, homeless people, you know, whatever. You're going to find an excellent charity to give these things to, and you're going to close your eyes and you're going to picture that bread maker on someone's counter, and someone's going to actually be making frickin' bread on Sundays, and you're going to get this warm, fuzzy feeling, and you're going to feel really, really good about it instead of bad every time you walk by. And the same with clothes. You're going to go through, you're going to let go of the 2 sizes too small that, I mean, you can have goals, you can have weight loss goals and stuff, but sometimes we, you know, there's stuff like from high school. It's like, look, you know, even if you could, you don't want to, or you shouldn't. Maybe save like 1 or 2, you know, real sentimental pieces, but, and then maybe you just have stuff, again, the retail therapy, maybe you have a ton of stuff with tags and stuff, or, you know, you thought this is who I want to be, but then you got home, you tried it on, you're like, no, I really probably don't want to be that person. And so again, you're purging, you're clearing, and you're coming to this place of simplicity and Zen-like lightness, and people are seeing this, and you're finding that instead of using retail therapy to feel better, or you know, what I'm really good at is thinking, oh, I'm going to start working out, and I go and I buy all the stuff, the clothes, the balls, the exercise balls, the weights, you know, even expensive stuff, the treadmill, the thing that you hang upside down on. And then I find out that maybe I use half of it, or maybe I end up going to the gym with a girlfriend and not even using the stuff. So I'm a great planner, but sometimes the execution kind of suffers. So I instituted a new policy where, you know, if I get all excited about something, I got to sleep on it either a night or a week, you know, depending on what it is, and really think about the options and everything before I buy it, especially for big ticket items. And I see you able to do that as well. So anyway, I beat that horse. Sorry, I hate that analogy. I've talked enough about that, but people are really admiring your just really coming into yourself and finding out what you really want and you really like. You're having a sense of lightness and freedom, and you're just really stopping so many negative cycles, and you just feel like you're on an upward trajectory, positive of, you know, spiritual growth even. And people are seeing that and feeling that. And it's beautiful. You're also grounding. You're realizing the importance of getting in touch with nature, and whether that is like hugging your animal, or going and walking on the sand in the beach, or going in the backyard, or even going barefoot in the house. But you're getting a bit more in touch with nature. You're finding yourself more interested in maybe things like hiking, or physical activities that take you out more in nature. Even if you're really not an outside girl, you're at least going in the backyard, barefoot and sitting on a chair and getting some sun, where, you may not have done that in forever. And that's one of the changes, one of the glow up changes that is happening to you. People are noticing, because when you're more grounded, you just feel more solid and less like skittish or discombobulated. You just feel more focused, and people are noticing that. And also, grounding just really helps you with your physical, not only your mental, but your physical well-being. Grounding has been shown just to help against anxiety and depression and those types of things, which people think that is a mental thing, but let me tell you, it's totally a physical thing as well. So people are noticing that, and they're really liking that. Another thing is you are just totally focused on healing and being balanced and being happy. Okay? You are you're using your intuition more. You are way more open to advances of love, and not only from, potential romantic partners, but you're just way more open to friendships and offers. And like, you may be thinking of taking a class or joining a club. You're just more open. You're open to life and the experiences and all it has to offer. And with the healing, and with the grounding, and with the purging and the stopping of the cycles, you really are listening more to your intuition. You're feeling your intuition more about what's good for you. And so when you make these more masculine, you know what I mean, it's an energy, divine masculine, when you're more to the yang, you are trusting yourself more in these decisions that you're making. Okay. You may also be finding that you are able to save money more easily, especially when you stop this giving thing. Sometimes that's money when you help out family members to excess, to where it even hurts you. So you're finding out that you have a better relationship with money. That's becoming more balanced. You're able to have an emergency fund and a savings. And boy, let me tell you who's impressed with that. You. You are so proud of yourself and impressed with yourself that, that you're taking care of yourself, that you're taking care of you, and you're showing love to you as well. They always say when you get your paycheck, pay yourself first in savings. And you're when you're on the plane and the oxygen masks come down, put them on yourself first, then help the others. You're learning that. You're learning to take care of yourself first. And it's not selfish. It's not bad. It's self-care. It's self-love. It's self-esteem. And you're learning that. And you're finding balance. And one final thing, I think you may be finding a closer relationship with your spiritual practices or your religion. I see you opening up a mind space for maybe more spiritual pursuits. When you're not in a good place about yourself, you don't feel good about yourself, and that's why you gave. you're so caught up in the cycles and the drama and the healing that, you know, you don't really take care of yourself or know what you want. So I see with this new lightness and this new connectedness to yourself and to the earth that you may be interested in studying or discovering more about your spiritual path and enlightenment. Again, whether that be traditional religion or you know, some type of spiritual interests or endeavors that you may want to undertake. So overall, I see so many positive, wonderful changes. You are really glowing up. And whether this has all happened or whether some of it's happened and more of it's happening, it's all, you know, wonderful and positive and forward movement. And people are really seeing it, and people are really admiring the changes. Not only people, but your angels. I'd say they're probably helping you, guiding you, but they love you so much, and they are just in awe of all the positive changes that you've made. So that is all I have for you, group number 1. I hope you liked this. I loved it. I hope it resonated. If so, please do like and subscribe. Thanks so much. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 2. You are group number 2 in the reading, you know, all about your next glow up and, you know, basically what others are seeing in you and what they admire most in you. And maybe also what you're seeing in yourself and admire about the changes that you have made. I just want to let you know real quickly, in case you didn't listen to the intro, I am offering free readings. Basically, what you need to do is like the video and become a subscriber to the channel. The way that you can enter for the free reading is to send me an email. The email address is in the description box. And I will choose one lucky winner every week. And then we can, you know, communicate and go on from there. But I would love to, you know, do a reading for you. I'm basically trying to not only grow the channel, but to show my subscribers, existing and new, some love and, you know, let them know how much I appreciate them. We'll let you know how much I appreciate you. So please do like, subscribe, and send me an email. And who knows, you could be the winner that I'll be choosing for the next free reading. So thanks so much for listening to that. And let's go ahead and jump in group number 2. So, in what ways? You know, the first thing that is really standing out to me, in what order should I do them in? What order do I think it happened in? Okay, I think first of all, you have learned to, you've learned the difference between balanced, I'm trying to think of the word, I always have a hard time, balanced, like, not regular, balanced, healthy love in a relationship versus codependency. And so you've looked and you've seen where perhaps there's been codependency in your life. And codependency is, you know, I'll give you a brief layman's description of it. Description isn't the word. Boy, I'm having a hard time with words today. Sorry, you guys. But codependency basically is being in a relationship due to unhealthy needs. Like someone fearing abandonment, so they have to be in a relationship with anyone, someone, just so that they can feel not abandoned. Or someone with abandonment issues always leaving a relationship at the drop of a dime so they can be the one that abandoned the other person and not be abandoned. People giving in excess because they feel like they need to in order to make things okay, or to kind of like buy other people's love because they don't feel worthy. I could go on and on and on, but that's basically some descriptions, that's the word I was looking for, of a codependent relationship. And I'm seeing that you have been able to, and I don't know how recent this is, but it does look to me like something that you are working on, or perhaps you're having an epiphany or will have an epiphany soon, and that you'll be working on. But you will start to see your patterns in life, in relationships, that are codependent or may lean towards codependency. And sometimes things like these take, in order to see them, you need like counseling or help and stuff. And if you are doing that, or if you feel the need to do it, please do. Because it can only be of help and it can only be good. But sometimes one good old epiphany can help as well. Like someone can finally do something that's like the final straw, and you can be like, what the did this person just do? And all of a sudden your self-worth just like bubbles up, and you're like, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Or it can be in a relationship and people are doing things and it just feels so wrong. And you're like, why am I putting up with this? It makes me feel like shit. Why do I keep on doing this? And finally, the epiphany, the thing flips in your brain, and you're like, oh my God, I'm putting up with this because, and that's the ROI, return on investment, and you see why you've been putting up with it, and you realize how unhealthy it is, and you realize also that, hey, if I'm doing this, I'm probably doing a lot of other stuff. This is stuff I need to work on. But when you see that, it opens up a crack, and in that crack, self-love and self-esteem and self-worth kind of start to sneak in you, or you start to see it and feel it, and you're like, okay, this feels good, this feels right, and this is happening for you. And let me tell you, some people can go through a codependent relationship all their life and not see it. Bless them, oh God. I hope one day they do. But you have seen it, and you are working on it. You are working on letting go of the negative attachments, whether it be a relationship, shopping, an addiction, whatever it is. You are letting go of the negative attachments and working to not participate in codependent relationships anymore. And that is a huge glow up and grow up. And it is something to be very, very proud of. And your family and friends and spirit guides are looking at you, and they are like, whoa, fantastic. They are freaking thrilled, let me tell you. And at first, it'll feel weird and wrong, but it sure won't feel as wrong as it did when you were handing out money, or knowing that there was someone else and putting up with it, or whatever it was, whatever codependent attachment style activities that you were putting up with. Those felt wrong, man. There was red flags all over the place. Red flags, you couldn't even see past the red, but you chose to ignore it, but you just can't ignore it anymore. So these new positive self-love, self-esteem, self-worth attributes that you are gaining, the self-love, the feelings that you are having towards yourself, the boundaries that you are now setting, they may feel weird and they may be hard. Someone may come over and try and do the same codependent behavior, like asking for money, or hey, what are you doing? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you should go home and ask your wife what she's doing. It may feel weird. It may feel bad. It may feel so foreign. But let me tell you, when you create those boundaries and you stick to them, you will do nothing but glow up and nothing but feel better about yourself. And the doors will open for you. Let me tell you, your whole life will do a 180, and you'll realize that what you want wants you. The law of attraction, the law of assumption. You wanted unhealthy things before. When you love yourself, you want healthy things. You want joyous things. You want to experience the, ecstasy and the joy in life. And, you could take this sexually, but it says, I am worthy of all the pleasures my heart desires. So you can take that however you want, but, you can be joyous and ecstasy and experience ecstasy just in your life by being, truly who you are, knowing who you are, standing up for who you are, setting boundaries about what you'll accept. It's a beautiful thing. You open the doors to all types of wonderful experiences, people, growth, opportunities. Just, it's a bloop. It's a whole new thing. Your life will never be the same. And I see you doing this. And this is just like a major internal glow up that will change everything for the better. I also show you, once you have flexed these boundary muscles, these self-love, the self-worth, self-esteem muscles, you won't be caught up in the drama and the bullshit and the craziness and the minutia. You'll be able to see a whole nother side of life, or you are seeing another whole side of life. And what is happening, or what will soon be happening, but I believe it started, is you will finally be able to trust your intuition. Before, you couldn't trust your intuition. It was buried. You had no inner sense, inner voice. Your inner voice was like, what the fuck? I don't know. What are you doing? But when you have boundaries, when you create boundaries and you demand respect, and when you find your self-worth and your self-love and your self-esteem, and you know who you are and you know what you're worth and what you deserve, and you start asking it and demanding it, it opens up a whole new space where you can actually trust your intuition now. And that opens up a whole new world for you. When you're not caught up in the drama and the bullshit and the 3D craziness that is just so draining, one way that you are going to glow up is by being able to listen to your intuition. And you'll start to get a healthy sense of who you are and what you want. And what will open up to you, or what is opening up to you, is this legacy passed down in your family from woman to woman to woman, or if you're a male, from divine feminine to divine feminine to divine feminine. So it can be passed down also to your divine feminine side. But this is a time for you to acknowledge a higher existence of being, a higher plane of existence. What's a good way to say it? It opens up a door to you for a whole new area of insight and growth and study and being. And when you open that side up and you discover the powers that you have with the law of attraction, when you were here, you were like attracts like. You were in very low vibe, unhealthy, cyclical, back and forth and over and over and over. And when you broke that, it opened up a whole new realm. And what it did was it gave you, and is still giving you, a whole new foundation of strength, of who you are, of what you want. And you even come to the point where you realize you can be a rebel. You find interest in social issues. You realize that things that you once believed, you no longer believe in, you're no longer attached to it, you no longer feel an affinity for it. And it makes you open to new areas of study, new areas of, whether it be religious, spiritual, intellectual, hell, whether it's dancing classes, whether it's art classes. But you're not so caught up in the bullshit where nothing good can come in. A whole new door has opened up, a whole new realization, a whole new life. And not only, you have a big hole to fill. And it's being filled with this light. And it's being filled with the whole new you that you're discovering and you're building and you're growing and you're feeding and you're flexing the muscles. And you're like, who am I? What do I want? And you're figuring that out. And not only that, and above and beyond the whole codependency, bad relationship bullshit, you're letting go of other things, other beliefs, ideas, thought processes, probably feelings, probably even inner core about who you are. You're letting go of these because you're seeing that they're not true. And I don't know who told them to you. If your parents, a teacher, an experience, maybe you had a bad experience, so you told yourself, whoa, never going to do that again. But you're able to see these things now, and that is a major glow up, and people are going to totally notice. This is going to be like a 180, and you're going to be like looking at what you want, looking at who you are. I have this feeling that you are totally going to change the way that you dress. You may have, when you're caught up in this kind of bullshit, you probably don't even have the money, the will, the inclination, the desire to even really care so much about what you look like. And I'm not saying with this you're going to go, you know, get a facelift and buy $500 worth of makeup and designer clothes. No, that's not necessarily caring, or the only definition of caring. But you're going to really want to express your individuality. You're really going to want to see how clothes, makeup, your surroundings, you're going to start caring about stuff like that. You're going to care how it looks. You're going to care how it smells. You're going to care how it makes you feel. And you know what? It matters. Whether you're in a, I don't know if there's anywhere in the U.S. where a one bedroom is still $700. I'm going to use it as my example. Whether you're in a $700 one bedroom apartment in a not so fantastic neighborhood, let me get a drink of water here, or whether you're in a $5,000 a month penthouse somewhere, or $1 million house. It doesn't matter if you're caught up in bullshit and addictions and all that. It doesn't matter. You're not surrounded by the things you love. You don't know what you love. You don't know what you like. You don't really exist. But when you start to exist and decide who you are and what you like, there's a glow up. And whether you're in some really cool Walmart shit that you're sporting and you look awesome, or whether you're in designer duds, or whether you shop at a place that sells witchy poo clothes and you're just, people are like, okay, whatever it is, whatever way that you're expressing yourself, the one thing that will really come through is the light, the uniqueness, the authenticity. You will be unlike no other. You will be an individual, and that will definitely be noticed, and that will be a big change that everyone will see, and you will feel fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, and so I do see an outer glow up, and I just don't mean, again, material things, but the material things, the way you dress, the way you express yourself in these material things are some of the first things that people notice. Okay, again, your furniture and decor can be from IKEA, but you'll have it so pimped out with fairy lights and, you know, whatever your thing is, people will come and they'll feel it. And you'll have incense, or you'll have candles, or you'll have cinnamon and oranges boiling in a diffuser or on a pot on the stove. I mean, it'll be a vibe, it'll be a thing, and it'll be who you are. And people will just be like smacked in the forehead with you. Where before here, you were like invisible almost. You were so caught up in your drama and your bullshit. People were like, they didn't even know who you were. You didn't know who you were. I think I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. But you're finding out who you are, and who you are is freaking awesome. And you're getting ready to express who you are. And this is the glow up. And it's a beautiful thing. Now, I see you getting, since you've let the BS go, you are attracting more positive things into your life. The law of attraction, the law of assumption. You know you deserve the best that life has to offer you. And you know what? You do. Okay? And doors are opening. Opportunities are being presented to you. Ideas, opportunities, perhaps love. I do see you getting messages in the near future for opportunities. and good things that you will be attracting. And that's also part of your glow up. You'll be getting a new love, a new relationship, perhaps, a new career opportunity. Perhaps it will be, and the one thing I can say about this career opportunity, the vibe I'm getting is not anything traditional. I feel like when you broke open and all the dark left and all the light came in, and you patched yourself up with gold. There's a Japanese thing, can't remember the name of it, but it's so beautiful. There was a small pot, I think it was a clay pot, and it had broken. And the Japanese glued it back together with gold. And so the pot had this line through it, but it was of gold. So it was fixed with something of higher value. And that's what I feel like happened to you, is you broke and all the bad stuff flew out and all the good stuff came in, and now you're patching it up with gold. And that's who you are. And I see wonderful opportunities coming through. I see you leaving behind things that don't serve you. You know what? And you may feel, it's not easy. It's not like you have this epiphany and you leave this person or this job or this family member behind and you're like, la-di-da-di-da, and the light comes in and tomorrow it's a whole new day and everything's hunky-dory and you skip off into the sunset. It's a process, and you are going to feel conflicted. You may be juggling between these two worlds for a while. But what I'm trying to let you know is how beautiful it is going to be once you are able to finally let go of this unhealthy attachment and codependency. And will you be 100% free of it? Probably not. Probably you may have a tendency to kind of maybe go back for a minute or, fall into an old habit. But it'll never be the same. It'll never be that bad again. This is either now or it just was as bad as it's ever going to get, because you're on the way up now. But you did experience some grief. You most likely had to leave some people, some situations, some, relationships behind. And that's not easy. Women who were with abusers were heartbroken to break up the family and leave their abusers. Feelings are feelings and they're valid. You may look back in 5 years and go, what the hell was I feeling? What was I thinking? But right now, whatever you're feeling is valid. And so you may have a hard time. You may juggle. You may go back and forth a little bit. That's okay. You may feel sad with some things that you have to leave behind. That's okay. Because everything is different. It can never be the same. It's on the way up. You are glowing up. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, romantically, relationship-wise. You'll never be in such a shitty relationship again. Will you perhaps be in a relationship that has issues and that won't work out in the future? Yeah. But will you be in it as long? Will you let it get as bad? No. I heard someone say once, I have such a bad picker. If I was in a room with 100 guys and 99 were healthy and one was a narcissist, I'd probably go straight over to the narcissist. And I used to kind of laugh and think, that sounds familiar. But you know what? No. Because even healthy people who have left behind the codependency and the unhealthy attachments have narcissists or people with not so great intentions approach them. But you know the difference? They see the signs earlier. They pay attention to the signs earlier. And they either don't get involved or they leave way faster. That's the only difference. They don't know a secret you don't know. Now you know the secret. Pay attention to the signs. And if you do get involved, leave sooner. There you go. So you're waiting for your ships to come in. Emotionally, spiritually, romantically. And you should be, because they're coming in. You have done a major glow up. Your spirit guides are thrilled. They've been guiding you and pushing you to get out of this. They're so happy for you. They're like, finally. Your family, your friends, the ones that are really there for you, that really care, they're fucking thrilled. Excuse my French. And your life is going to be full of joy and ecstasy and opportunity and light and you're going to be a rebel. You're going to be different. You're going to be unique. You're going to be authentic. And I think that's beautiful. That's a major glow up. So if you like this reading, that's all I have for you. If you like it, please do like and please do subscribe so that I can pick you for a free reading. That's all I have for you today. Group number 2. Love you. I'm so excited for you. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 3. This is Cindy with Tana Tarot, and you are group number 3 in the reading. You're all about your glow up, and with the glow up comes a lot of changes. So what others are seeing in you, the changes that others are seeing in you, and what they admire about you, and also what you can admire about yourself for the glow up. I want to take a quick moment and let you know that I am offering a free reading. In order to enter or qualify for that free reading, you need to like this video and become a subscriber, and then email me. And the email is in the description box, as well as all the information how we'll do it and get it set up. But I would love it if you did enter, and that I could do a reading for you. I am doing it to help grow my channel, but also to show love to my existing subscribers, and to welcome my new subscribers. So please do take a look in the description box, and very simple, thing to follow and how to enter. So please do it. I'd love to do a reading for you, and I'll be picking one a week for the next, probably few months, and something that I plan on doing, forever. Not necessarily every week, but maybe bring back every few months or something. But definitely something that I'm doing now and that I'm excited to do. So please do check it out. So, group number 3. First of all, I do have to tell a little backstory here to show what you are glowing up from. So, I see a pretty bad experience. I see that either in childhood or in love, you were very hurt and betrayed. So it just could be some childhood trauma, or it could be that you just had really horrible experiences in relationships, and it's affected you very, very negatively. It's been very hard for you. I see you always feeling the need to fight, to defend yourself, and to try to put up some type of boundaries to protect yourself. But you've always felt on the defensive, never safe, never really truly loved. This has caused you a lot of grief. You are like up in your head, and you've told yourself many things about people, about relationships, about yourself. You've told yourself people are shit, all they want to do is hurt you. You can't trust people. You've told yourself, I'm not good at relationships. I can't pick anyone good. Something's wrong with me. You've told yourself, I just can't do this anymore. It's just become all-consuming, and it's really colored or darkened everything else in your life. You just feel like a failure. You felt like a failure. You felt like you'd never find happiness. You couldn't do anything right. And you just really felt like giving up. Every time you tried to do something good or do something new, like different. Like, okay, so I made this mistake, but that was because this scenario was ABC. So now I'm going to try again, but I'm going to go with DEF. But that didn't work out either. And it caused you more heartbreak, more hostility, more anguish and anxiety, and you're just ready to give up. But your cycles, this negative, repetitive cycle, is changing or is going to change. And I'm telling you that right now, because this is cycles. This is the ending of cycles, the beginning of cycles, the up and down, the cyclical nature of life. And Spirit is telling me you are getting ready for a big glow up. You are getting ready to realize what you are worth. And you're ready to break this cycle and start a new, more positive one. Now, whether it's an epiphany or whether you have been doing, self-reflection, whether you've been watching videos, whatever it is, I see the change happening. I see you going, oh, that's why I always ended up in that situation. That was because, this happened in my childhood. Or that was because when I was a teenager, I was in this relationship and this person said this or did this. And so you're having revelations, you're having epiphanies, your mind is opening, and you're realizing that there's another way. And you are already seeing the difference. Because let me tell you, even if you weren't in this scenario where you kept on attracting negative vibrations, negative people, negative scenarios, negative situations to yourself. You need to not only figure out kind of basically what caused it. Sorry about that. You're going to have the epiphany that you're going to have is that you're going to realize that you deserve different and that you deserve better. And that's just going to start a whole new positive cycle. You're going to attract new. You're going to attract different. And that's when your glow up is going to start. One thing, or a couple things that you're learning is, there is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. And that is exactly it. You're finally kind of learning. You're seeing the patterns and you're seeing your part in them. You're taking responsibility for your part. Even if stuff happened when you were a kid, you're like, okay, that happened when I was a kid. That caused me to react a certain way and caused me to act in a certain way throughout my life. But now, as an adult, I have the responsibility to do what I can to help myself to break out of these patterns and cycles and start myself on a new, more positive trajectory. So, you've learned there's nothing to regret when I learn from my past. Once you break that cycle or realize that you're in that cycle and you have the epiphany and you forgive yourself, it's a whole new world. And you learn abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. Because when you're here caught up in this, you don't really realize what you deserve. You don't really realize your self-worth, your self-esteem. And you don't really know how to show yourself love. You don't really know what that means. And you know, the Seven of Wands can also stand for establishing boundaries. And so you are learning that you do need to establish boundaries of what you will accept. What is acceptable to you. In everything, all love relationships, family relationships, work relationships, from yourself. So you just, whatever happened here, you learn that while you need to take responsibility for it, as long as you learn the lesson, there's nothing to regret or feel bad about. You need to create boundaries to protect yourself. Also, creating boundaries helps you to define who you are. What do they say? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Kind of true. Looking at it in one way. And so you do need to stand for something within yourself. What's acceptable to you? What feels bad? Don't do that. What feels better? What makes you feel more proud of yourself? It could feel foreign, but in the long run, what happens when you create boundaries? Even if it feels foreign and weird, you start to feel better about yourself. You start to love yourself more. You start to realize your worth and that abundance is your birthright and I receive it now. So I see this as a major glow up for you. And if this epiphany hasn't happened, I do see it happening soon. I don't know where you are in this process, because this is a process. I mean, there's a switch that's going to be flipped. But that's really the beginning of the journey. But when that flip is switched, you will leave all the bullshit behind and you'll start new. Now, when I say leave all that bullshit behind, will you ever fall into these behaviors again? Most likely. But since you've created the boundaries and you've forgiven yourself and you've learned what you really deserve, you won't stay there long. You may look like a stock market graph, up and down, up and down, up and down, but you're mainly going up. So I don't know when this flip is going to be switched. I don't know when this switch is going to be flipped or if it already has, but you are either in the middle of or getting ready for very soon a major epiphany, a major change. And let me tell you, it's going to be a big ass shock. You're going to go like, oh my God. I have been going through this all these years. I thought other people had a secret for good relationships. I thought people knew something I didn't know, like maybe in passing out relationship smarts today, I was sick that day, whatever it is that you've been telling yourself, you're going to realize, you're going to see the other side. And it's going to be shocking, but it is going to be beautiful. And you're going to be like, whoa. You may even cry with joy. And you know what I think? I think one thing that is going to help you with this glow up, somewhere around in here when things flip, even at the beginning of the journey, you are able to, through forgiving yourself and realizing how much you deserve, and you do, all of us as humans deserve to be happy and deserve love. Do we deserve for them to be handed to us and us treat them shitty or poorly? No. But we do deserve it. We are worthy of it. And you're realizing that. I see two things happening. One for sure, and one maybe. I see you having a new relationship with yourself and the divine. And the divine is, what do you want to call? God, spirit, universe, your higher self, whatever you call it. When you come out of this bullshit and the blinders are taken off your eyes, you see that there was always something else there that was watching over you, protecting you, loving you. Again, God, spirit, universe, your higher self. Your inner child. There was always something else there loving you. And you're able to have a reunion, a union. You're able to get back to that. Maybe you hadn't been there since you were a child, or maybe you were never there in this life, even. Maybe you get back to it, what you had before you were born into this life. Also, I don't know if this is saying it better. The energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and our inner aspects towards a state of wholeness. So, were you whole? No. And in fact, a play on words, you had a big hole in you. that was being filled with chaos, confusion, anxiety. A lot of addicts have that too. They filled that hole with alcohol, drugs. You filled it with chaos, anxiety, betrayal, hurt, self-loathing, mistrust of yourself and others. But now that the switch has flipped and you see, the bad is release the dark wound. Let love live. So the bad is flowing out. Oops, sorry, I keep on doing that. The bad is flowing out. Now there is a space that needs to be filled, and you are automatically getting back in touch with your higher self, the divine, and you're feeling it. It's filling you up. And people are going to really see that. I mean, that's a major glow up. I mean, that's a change in your whole lifestyle, your whole thought process, your whole character, your whole personality. I mean, you're totally doing a 180. You're starting out as like a baby again. And now you've got to have patience with yourself. You got to love yourself. You've got to keep on learning. But this is not just a glow up. This is a grow up. This is amazing. And then we can find true love. Let me tell you something. It's so trite but true. Back in the day, I was the one that said, hey, if I went into a room with 100 guys and 99 were healthy and one was a narcissist, I would go right for the narcissist. And since then I've realized, no, when I met the narcissist, I thought I could fix them or make things better, or that it was my job to, whatever. Okay? I've done that a few times in my life. The only difference between me and the woman who's in a healthy relationship is that narcissist still hit on her, but she did not ignore the red flags. She paid attention to them. Or if she didn't see any red flags and started some type of a relationship, when she saw the red flags, she left. I didn't. I had to fix it. And that was my thing that I had to do. It was my responsibility to make everything better, I thought. And once you realize what your thing is, and you stop doing it, and you start putting up boundaries, that's love. That's self-love. That's self-esteem. Realizing your self-worth. Realizing how much you deserve. Forgiving yourself. Having patience with yourself. I still catch myself with the negative talk. Oh my gosh. Man, am I rough on myself sometimes. But I'm learning to have patience with myself. And where I was going with this is, when you love yourself, which I just talked about, oh, you can't love someone else until you love yourself. And we're rolling our eyes and we're like, rah, rah, rah. But you know what? It's true. Because if you don't love yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't have boundaries, someone could come up and give you true love, and you'd probably sabotage it. Sorry, guys. If you don't think you're worthy of love, or you know how to love, or you don't really know what love is, you don't know what the dealio is, you think you have a bad picker, you think everyone's shit, everyone's going to betray you, and a good person comes and tries to love you, how's that going to go? So part of your glow up is that you're going to, and it's funny, look, true love. Who's she looking at? Who's she giving the flower to? Herself. That Whitney Houston song. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. All of the things are so trite and true, I just feel stupid saying it, but you know what? It's true, damn it. Until you learn to value yourself and to love yourself, you're not really probably going to be able to have a real truthful, love-filled, happy relationship. And that's what you're learning here. That's your glow up. And then the little card, honor and good luck. Honor yourself, because you know you deserve to be honored and you owe it to yourself. Honor, abundance. You deserve respect from yourself and from others. What a transformation. You are gonna glow up, grow up soon, or you're in it now. And let me tell you, you're going to have true love, because I see this one two ways. I believe true love, if that's something that you want, you are going to, because this union is like a internal union with the divine, a union towards with your inner and your outer. But I see these two union cards and true love as a major glow up in relationships for you. I see you leading a new life that you are not even going to recognize. You are going to look in the mirror. You're not even going to know yourself. Your skin is going to be brighter. Your eyes are going to be lighter and brighter. You're going to, where you once saw older, nothing wrong with being older, but like maybe that's not a good word, grumpy, crabby, where the person you used to see in the mirror was grimacing and maybe the lips are downturned and the deep wrinkles between the eyes. That's where I was going. An unhappy, just grumpy, unhappy, negative person. You're going to look in the mirror and it is going to be a whole new day. When this change happens, when this grow up, glow up happens, it's going to be, the light is going to be coming from the inside. It will be unmistakable. It will be clear. It will be noticed from a block away. Your friends and your family are going to notice. Your family members that love you, isn't that funny? One would assume that all one's family members love them. But the ones that truly care about you are going to be amazed and thrilled because they know the history. They're going to see radical change. And they're just going to be so proud of you. They're going to, how strong you were to see this and to do this. Some people never see this. And then if they do, they don't know what to do. You're figuring it out. You're major glowing up. They're going to notice it at work. Like, what are you doing? What have you done? You just seem so happy. Did you do something to your hair? What are you using on your skin? You're going to care more. You know, I'm not saying you're going to buy a whole new wardrobe or anything, but where before, maybe especially with the pandemic, but before maybe you didn't care so much, didn't put too much effort into it, you know, you're going to care. You're going to want to look good. You're going to, you know, and especially if you know that you're worthy of a real, true, abundant love, man, you're going to, like going on a job interview, you're going to want to look your best. You're going to want to go out and about. You're going to want to accept invitations because you know your person's out there. You've started a whole new positive cycle. You've found true love and you're looking for true love because you know you deserve it and you know it's out there and you know you can have it. So mostly the glow up is like an internal, emotional, spiritual thing. But it's going to show so much on the outside, and not just looks, but you're just going to be so much more abundant because you're going to know you deserve. It's not going to be this Eeyore, oh, so sad is me, my life, and attracting crappy used cars. You're going to get an awesome used car. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to go to the place that sells you shitty cars because you think, oh, no one else is going to sell me a car. You're going to go to, well, not like going to a dealer is a good thing, but you're going to go somewhere where you're going to get a really good deal and you're going to know you're worth it. And you're going to know, even if your credit isn't totally stellar because of everything you've gone through, you're not going to walk into some place where you know you're going to get ripped off. You're going to go somewhere good and you're going to get a nice, decent, awesome car. Maybe even a little flashy, damn it, because you deserve it. Your house, if you're in a shitty neighborhood, you're going to go find somewhere better. Even if you don't have like a ton of money, maybe letting some of this shit go, maybe you will have more. Maybe you will attract better. But even if it's the same amount of money, I have a feeling that you accepted less than what you were worth. That's what I'm trying to say. And I've done it all my life, so I know. With the car, with the place that you live, with the clothes that you own, I would go and I wouldn't spend more than $5 on a top for myself. And then I'd realize I had to buy those $5 tops so much. I could have bought a $40 top that would have lasted for years and years. It's perspective. And your perspective has 100% switched, and you know you're worth it. And that, my dear, is your glow up. And I'm so happy for you. Whew. fundamental, that one. So that's all I have for you. Please do like this video. Please do subscribe. Please do email me to enter into the promotion for the free reading. And I'm going to thank you so much for spending this time with me. And see you next time. Bye-bye.